Welcome to LinguaWire English B1. Today, we have two stories, one about a drug and longer life, and one about a new robot factory making steel parts. To help you follow today's episode, full transcripts and vocabulary lookups are available at LinguaWire.com. Could a drug made for one problem also end up playing a role in longer-term health? Now we go to Liam, our LinguaWire correspondent for health.
Thanks, Daniel. Yes, that is the big question here. The drug is tadalafil, which many people know by the brand name Cialis. It is best known for treating erectile dysfunction, but in some wellness and biohacking circles, it is being promoted as a kind of longevity drug.
So this is not just a medical story. It is also a story about hype and hope.
Exactly. Some online clinics and public figures are talking about it. For the heart, the brain, and even exercise performance. But there is an important limit. It is not approved to prevent heart attacks or strokes. And it is not approved to extend life.
That matters. People may hear the buzz and think the science is already settled.
That is the risk. The research is interesting, but it is not the same as proof. A few large studies have found that men taking tadalafil had lower rates of cardiovascular disease and death. Some studies also found a lower risk of dementia.
Lower rates sound promising, but that does not automatically tell us why.
Right. Most of those studies were observational and retrospective. So they can show a link, but not that tadalafil caused the better outcome. That is a key point for listeners. A link can be real, but the reason behind it may still be unclear.
And the story also gives us real numbers, which make the debate feel more concrete.
Yes. One analysis of over 8,000 men taking tadalafil found a 55% lower death rate from heart disease during the study. The same analysis found a 44% lower rate of overall mortality. Another study of over 500,000 patients found a 32% lower dementia risk in people taking tadalafil.
Those are big figures. But I remember you said the studies still need caution.
They do. Researchers say they need prospective studies. Ideally, they want randomized trials. Only then can anyone draw stronger conclusions.
And the story also explains why this drug is getting so much attention now.
There is also a practical point. Tadalafil and similar drugs are already used for other approved medical problems. So scientists are asking whether they may have more than one useful role.
So the latest development is not that the drug has suddenly been proven to slow aging.
No, not at all. The latest development is that interest is growing. The early data looks suggestive, and the medical debate is getting louder. It is a good example of how a drug can move from one purpose into a much bigger public conversation.
Three former SpaceX engineers are now trying something very different: a robot factory for steel parts. Now we go to Chloe, our LinguaWire correspondent for technology.
Thanks, Daniel. Yes, this is a move from rockets to heavy industry. The startup is called 1872. It officially launched on July 22nd with a ribbon-cutting ceremony in Cincinnati, Ohio. Its first focus is making steel skids. These are rectangular steel frames used as a movable base for modular buildings.
So this is not a moonshot idea. It is a very practical factory problem.
Exactly. The company wants to use AI-driven software and robots. It wants to automate most of the steel fabrication process.
And the target is important. They are not just talking about the future in a vague way.
Right. The company says it wants a prototype factory that can do this by 2027. The team is building towards autonomy, but not in an all or nothing way.
How far do they want that automation to go?
The CEO says they may stop at about 80% autonomous operations. That could happen if going all the way to 100% no longer makes sense.
That is interesting, because people often imagine automation as a full takeover.
Here it is more careful than that. The company wants enough automation to make the work faster and more reliable, but it does not necessarily want perfect machine independence. And the demand side is a big reason. Industry groups have warned for years about a shortage of skilled labor. That shortage affects data centers, chip factories, car plants, and shipyards.
So the factory is answering a wider labor problem, not just a technical challenge.
Yes, and the American Welding Society says the United States will need 320,500 new welding workers by 2029. That figure reflects both retirements and strong demand.
And the political side also appears in the story, with immigration rules changing the labor picture.
Exactly. The report says stricter immigration rules and a crackdown on undocumented immigration make it harder to find workers. So 1872 is trying to solve a very current problem. It is about how to build more with fewer skilled workers.
That makes the company sound less like a flashy robotics project and more like an answer to a supply problem.
That is the best way to see it. The technology is the tool, but the shortage of workers is the pressure behind it.
First, 3 words from story 2. Autonomy. Autonomy means the ability to work without human control. In the story, it described how far the factory wants its robots to run on their own. Example, the new warehouse has more autonomy than the old one. Fabrication. Fabrication means the process of making something, often from metal. In the story, it was used for the steelwork the factory wants to automate. Example, metal fabrication takes time and careful planning. Shortage. Shortage means a lack of something that people need. In the story, it was used for the lack of skilled workers. Example, the city faces a shortage of nurses. Now the grammar point, be going to. We use be going to talk about a plan or goal for the future. Example 1. We are going to build a prototype factory by 2027. Example 2. The company is going to automate most of the steel fabrication process. Repeat after me. We are going to build. That's today's news. Every word you just heard is written out at LinguaWire.com. The full transcript and a tap-to-check glossary for words you don't yet know. That's LinguaWire.com. Follow the show so we're there in your feed tomorrow. Speak to you then.